Okay folks, we have some very interesting lighting going on right now. I'm probably going to end this video blind.
I go to war, I'll fight for you. Even when I've left, I do right by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky.
Basically, it is New Year's Eve and
playing some music on Spotify.
it's New Year's Eve and I every year film like a resolutions video, but because I have a job and like 9 to 5 job, I don't really have like the daylight to film. Normally my resolutions videos are very serious. I normally get quite emotional, but what we're gonna do right now is all of a sudden I got told that could basically finish work an hour and 15 minutes early, so I'm buzzing, but the lighting is awful, so I'm currently blinding myself with the back flash on my phone. What I'm gonna do is multitasking. I'm gonna be doing my hair whilst doing this video to, what's the phrase? Kill two birds with one stone? Looking for this. But yeah, if you haven't met me before, hi, my name's AJ. I don't normally do this. Normally my New Year's video is very put together, and also normally I watch last year's video before filming this year's video so that I have an idea of what I said. Because I write down my resolutions, right, but like obviously in the videos there'll be stuff that I say I didn't write down, like I didn't plan for, you know. Is clearly not in my favour this evening. You know what, fuck it, I'm straightening my hair. But yeah, I obviously write down in my notes what my resolutions are for each year, so I'm just going to be talking about them. So, my resolutions for this year, for 2022, are to read 36 books. There would have been some kind of maths I did to work that out. 3 books a month, that's what it was. 1 book a week just sounds a bit intense for me, because that hasn't been what I've been doing for the past few months, so I'm gonna go for 3 a month, and yeah, that's gonna be the first resolution I've got. My second resolution is to go to a New York Islanders game. So if you know me, you know that I am obsessed with NHL New York Islanders. I was meant to go to New York in October, that wasn't able to happen, so I am going in March. We're planning to see definitely 1, possibly no, not 2. We figured out we couldn't do that. We're going to see at least 1 New York Islanders game basically. And I'm going with Charlotte and Sahara. Sahara is also a raging New York Islanders fan, so like that would be really, really fun. I just think it would be very entertaining to have Charlotte there. Charlotte is my friend that I went to Berlin with. Also ignore heat protectant. Also, you didn't see, I did spray heat protectant on my hair before I did this, don't worry. I also took some flat prosecco from the fridge and made a mimosa. So okay, then my next resolution is to live with friends again. So again, if you know me or if you've been watching my videos for a while, the last time that I lived out was when I was at undergrad, University in Brighton, and I have been living with my parents ever since. No tea, no shade. Love living with my parents, but because the plan is for me to buy a property in the next like 3-ish years, I'd really love to be able to go back to just living with friends for a bit and like renting, not, you know, my friends living in my house or me living in a friend's house, just because there's a certain freedom that you get with renting where like basically where you're like not asking for permission for stuff. Like obviously you do, and I do, to be polite and respectful, to say like, oh, my friend's coming over this weekend, like do you want to join? It's like all good, but you don't have to be like please may I, because you're both renting equally, or however many people it is. I wouldn't move out just for the sake of moving out, because obviously I'm saving money here, blah blah blah, but it would only be if one of my friends, like the opportunity arises to live with one of my friends, which is the blessing of working remotely because it allows me to do that. And I don't have a particular location in mind, just anywhere where my friends are. But yeah, that's definitely an aim for me. Okay, oh, I put this, but I don't know if I want to. I put take a self-defense class because it's been like on the back of my mind for a few years now, but the need is not as strong anymore because I take body combat, which like is not a self-defense class, but like I know how to, you know, throw a punch correctly. That's still on there, but like not as intensely. Okay, this is gonna sound really obnoxious and lazy, but I've put to cook at least once every 2 weeks, only because whilst I live with my parents, my mum is on Slimming World, so and because I'm the only one in the house that works, and we have dinner around 6 just because that's what works best for my parents, like eating habits. By the time I finish work, I don't really have time to like cook a meal that would make everybody happy, but I don't want to do nothing, so I do want to make an effort to cook at least once every 2 weeks. But yeah, just the way that we eat doesn't really work out with me having a job, so I need to make sure I don't completely slack off and I do something. Number 7, I put join the welcome team at church. So I have actually been on welcome once. I think it was I think it was after I wrote this, with my church group, and it was really fun. I really liked it, but I would like to like legit sign myself up for the welcome team. So that is something I want to do, because I said this before, I haven't really been as involved in church, especially with COVID and stuff, but I have like, basically long story short, I want to join a welcome team at church. Next one, be more content with my life right now despite societal expectations. Let's unpack that one, shall we? Basically, I feel like for people my age right now, there's a lot of pressure to like always be doing more, like always be doing the most, like working extra time, like going into work early, working later, just like committing to more things and like pushing and pushing and pushing, and it comes under the umbrella of like striving to be better, but I feel like there's certain parameters around that. Also, especially like having taken law, I feel like, because I'm not sure whether becoming a solicitor is for me or whether it is just that I need like a bit of a break from studying and then it'll be something I go back to. I feel like there's a lot of expectations surrounding that, but also like because I have hobbies and I have things in my life that I like doing, like I like that I can wake up and go to the gym in the mornings, I like that I, you know, love watching hockey and I'm beginning to like watching F1. I love reading, but I feel like there's a very big expectation in people my age to like not have a life outside of what you do as a job, and I want to be able to do both, you know. Also in the dating front, I won't name names, but I've had a few comments from people being like, so any boyfriends? And I'm like, no, you know, I'm just chilling right now. Oh, what a shame. What a waste. I don't want you to miss out on living your life and being happy. So I want to make one thing clear. I don't need a boyfriend to be happy. I'm not wasting my life or sat here being miserable because I'm not dating anyone right now. That's another one of the like, you know, you reach your 20s and everyone's like, okay, so like you're looking for a boyfriend, and it's like, back up. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm not wasting away, do you know what I mean? But yeah, just general stuff like that, and also like being able to say no when I actually want to stay in and finish reading a book rather than go out and stay up later than I want to. And like, I call myself, and people call me a grandma, but like, so what? Do you know what I mean? Like, so what? I enjoy going to bed at a decent time and reading my book, and just to be like more okay with that, because I sometimes feel like maybe it's part and parcel of me like being quite an anxious person, but I feel like, oh my god, like everybody thinks this and everybody thinks that. You live with your parents, like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine, I'm having a great time. Anyway, went on a bit long. The last one for this year that I've written is get another tattoo. I have 3 right now, but I just have a couple more that I want, and I'm not really particularly bothered about like what I get first. I have a few tattoo artists that I follow on Instagram, and I kind of just see like when they have available spaces, when their books reopen, if they're like guesting anyone, because my last tattoo was done by a guest at a tattoo studio around here. So yeah, that's another one, and that, to be honest, is all of my resolutions. A few things that I will be doing in the new year that I don't really need to put as resolutions because I'm already doing them is like go to the gym at least 3 times a week, try a bunch of new classes, because I did that in December and found a new class I really liked. I already take really good care of my skin, already been working on my sleeping pattern, so yeah. Okay, and then obviously, like I said, I didn't watch the video that I made last year about my resolutions, but I have in my notes what those resolutions were, because I have my resolutions written down for like the past 4 years in my notes. The first one was get a commendation in my masters, but if you don't think that you failed. because like a pass would still be okay. I did get accommodation, very happy with that. Hopefully graduating from that in May, so that'll be nice. Finished the Duolingo French tree. Yeah, no, I think I really thought that like I'd be able to do that. No, really have not. Play a football match again. No, I started football with a bunch of girls from church, but it kind of fizzled off when I had stuff going on in summer, so I don't play football anymore, which is a shame because I mean I bought the boots, but like what you gonna do when you're no longer a student? Do alpha again. No, I wanted to do alpha if it was in person, but also I joined a group. I'm very happy with that, so yeah, I've not done alpha yet. I mean, it's not going to go away anytime soon over my lifetime, so I can always do that another year, but yeah, not too bothered about that now. I think it was also because I had a very difficult year with the Lord, so I was just not in the mood to go to alpha, if I'm honest. Save up for travelling. I won't say exactly how much I wanted to save, but I think I hit my personal goal. And yeah, when I say travelling, like not intense like gap year travelling, but like I got to go to Berlin with my friend Charlotte. I'm obviously going to New York in March. I'm going to Florida Disney World with Katie and Joe in November. If I get the chance and opportunity, I'd love to do a few more like weekend, like city break kind of trips this year. Yeah, I definitely did save like the amount of money that I wanted to, so I'm very proud of that. Read 24 books, baby. I read 104. So yeah, you could say I did that. I had been struggling with reading for the past few years, and so 24 was like quite a high number for me. But then I read the off-campus series, which got me into hockey and became obsessed with books again. And a whole new genre that I hadn't read before. I was a strict fantasy girl. Now I read a lot of romance, which is shocking, but yeah, so crush that. Learn to rest before you're burnt out. I think the reason I must have put that is because last Christmas I had a huge burnout in law school and stuff, and I was like, you can't do this, you need to fix this. And I actually think I've gotten really good at that. Like, I very much prioritize rest in my life. I think that's why I have a lot of hobbies and stuff that I enjoy. Like, I also have a habit of spending about an hour in the bath because I just find it really relaxing. But yeah, no, I definitely think I've improved on that, so I'm actually really proud of that, because stuff like that has always been more like a more important kind of goal for me to reach than, you know, like numbers and stuff. Visit museums. In England, no, haven't. In Berlin, yes, did. Also, I think when I filmed this, I don't know whether we'd gone into the January lockdown of last year that lasted like 4 months. So be more comfortable / at home with myself. Yes, definitely yes. I definitely do. I think, you know what helped genuinely? I think COVID helped in a weird way with like, I dyed my hair purple in like November of 2020. I dyed my hair blue in January of this year. It was then green until like May or June maybe, which definitely helped because I was just like doing stuff for fun because I wanted to. I dressed different how I wanted to dress, like edgier than I thought that I could. It was just quite unapologetically me, very accepting of who I was and am. Just things like definitely the way that I like spoke about myself, rather than being like, oh yeah, like I'm really weird, I do this. I'd just be like, oh, I do this. Or I'd just phrase it differently, so I'd be like, oh yeah, it's really random, like I really got into hockey. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm a bit odd. Like, do you know what I mean? Just the way I phrase stuff. So I definitely think that I've done that. I feel a lot better within myself. And yeah, I'm just happy with who I am, I guess. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but like I was very focused on like striving for stuff, and I wanted to be a lot more comfortable with like just being okay and happy as I was. Check up on friends more. I don't know whether I've done that. I've become very bad with my phone. Okay, it's not even bad with my phone. I just don't like going on my phone as much as I used to. Like, I try to just be on my phone less, which automatically means that like I don't reply as quickly as I used to. I don't text people as much as I used to. But I feel like there have been a few friends where I've made a point of doing it, but I think that's just something that you need to do for the rest of your life, really. You just need to make sure that your people are okay. And yeah, I think that was that. I don't know whether the quote that's in my head now was my quote from last year or a few years ago, but it was she wasn't waiting for a knight, she was waiting for a sword. And I think that I said that in my resolutions video that year, but anyway, it's a quote that I love so much. It's the reason I got a dagger tattooed on my back, and I think I've done that. I think last year was one of the first years where I've actually been very okay being single and not pining after somebody or thinking, oh, I'm pretending everything's fine, but actually it'd be so much better if I was in a relationship, because I think I knew a lot of people like that and I was also like that, and I think it's been very freeing to be like, actually I'm very okay with myself, and I almost wouldn't want to start a relationship because I'm like, well, that means I've got to give something up that I do, you know, that either means an hour less sleep, an hour less of reading, an hour less of hockey, and like I don't want to. So I was not waiting for a night because I'm good as I am, you know? So yeah, it was definitely a weird year, but good things did happen though, and I've definitely learned a lot about myself, become a lot more comfortable in myself. Obviously, you know, finished law school, got my first big girl job. My family relationships have become a lot stronger. They've definitely improved, and yeah, it's been good. It's been very good. I've had a very good time, and there's people this year that I've met that I've become so close to that I didn't know this time last year, like Hannah and Sahara that I talked to about hockey, Charlotte that I went to Germany with, that I'm going to New York with, like I didn't know her. Even like Hannah, my friend from law school, my like library friend, we only started hanging out in like January, so like I didn't know her. Do you know, like it's so weird to think that, but it's been a very tough year. I had a very tough summer, but a lot of character growth. I've been through a journey in my faith because that took a beating, but I'm finding my way, and yeah, all in all, I don't think I'm gonna forget 2021 quickly. I feel in a lot more of like a stable place this year because I'm not stressed. Like for the first time in my life, I don't have exams, deadlines. Like this is going to be my first full year out of education, I'm assuming, or going into the year not being in education, and it's a very weird feeling. It's very weird, but I'm enjoying it, and you know, very happy with my little life right now, like working, going to the gym, reading books, you know, seeing my friends, having a good time. Do I have a quote for this year? The only quote in my head right now, well, I've got two. One is like a direct quote and one is the kind of general thing that I heard. The direct quote in my head is just because I read it earlier, and is be as you wish to seem, Socrates, and I want to do that. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, I want to be this thing, but like I'm not, or nobody thinks I am, or like I don't come across like this, like I don't come across as kind. Just I want to just be it. Like I want to be kinder, I want to be more comfortable with myself, I want to be more confident, and not just seem confident but not be confident, and I know that it, you know, is only going to happen from within me. So yeah, the other one is something that I saw on Pinterest that was like, basically everything's gonna go as it's meant to. But anyway, this has been very chaotic, but I'm gonna go do my makeup now. But yeah, that is all from me for today. I hope you've all had an amazing day. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I will see you hopefully, but probably not, but hopefully next Monday with another video. Bye.